Great morning, great rising. I was talking to someone not so long ago about the word mourning and in this woken consciousness and state that people are experiencing right now. They prefer to say grand rising because of the connotation of death in mourning. Um, and I'll greet you however is appropriate for you. I have a more broader view, but for me, things are not so much to be um, fought against as much as much as it is to be discussed. And so I'm looking at Genesis 1 and 1. And it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And it is not plural, it is heaven and earth. However, in other versions, there is the heavens and the earth. And why does that matter? Well, because again, for discussion, heaven without an S indicates one heaven. And tapping that in or connecting that to the part about good morning, I believe the bed is our proverbial grave and we sleep. And so sleep is akin to death. So when we say good morning, it means that though you died last night, in that sense, you slept last night, then this morning you are, or this risen daylight, you are still here. And so for me, I believe, again, all of this is for our intellect, for those that love to eat off the tree of knowledge of good and evil, letting us know the power of words and what we're saying. And since Jesus Christ is the resurrection and the life, then the idea of death no longer stings. Um, so again, I'm just introducing myself once more and again. My name is Val, and I seek to validate those that may think differently than the mainstream. Um, that scripture, that very first scripture, Genesis 1 and 1, that you see on the screen, I point it out because if we cannot agree on the very first scripture in the Bible, then there's really no need to go further. So I am open to discuss things of this nature. Again, this is King James Version. Of course, there are, again, as you can even see on my screen here, there are all of these tabs up here are different versions of the Bible. And I believe, again, it's for discussion. I believe that for those that want to live a life, and not necessarily with labels. Sometimes I prefer not to call myself a Christian simply because people's expectations of what that means to them is then imposed upon that title and consequently myself. And so I don't need a label to live life. I want interaction with people that are willing to come and reason together, purpose together. I believe that is the ultimate goal, is for us to have a community of souls that are not lent out constantly to a system that is taxing them so heavily that they have to have several jobs or borrow and things like that. And so this is an abundant earth. If those that are true stewards of the earth can come together, then in fairness, in equilibrium, in value for every soul, every person, every able and disabled body, if they're still breathing, even if they're on life support, there is value in their being. And so, in the beginning, God created. We have created things since then. And I believe further along in the scriptures, you may see heavens. It is not to say that uh, God did not create more than one heaven, but in the beginning, yes, according to the KJV, this is the heaven and the earth. And to me, that is what brings about a singularity of mind. Heaven and earth. H and E. That is your He. And when heaven comes to earth, when that which is in your mind and perception of heaven, what God has given you as an imagination of heaven, to me, that is your paradise. That is your place of uh, just cleanliness and happiness and debt free and having enough to share, but not having so much that it is out of control. And so I believe that is why God started with one heaven and one earth. And later on in the Revelation goes on to say, John goes on to say, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And so for me, there is only one heaven. And for me, that is the ideal place to be. That may look different for different people, and that's what makes the experience of God's creation a unique experience. You have your version of heaven, I have mine. But we can come together on earth and decide if your heaven and my heaven are congruent. If your information, if your uh, ways of seeing the kingdom, seeing how heaven works, see how earth works, if those things resonate with each other, then let us work together and create. And so, whether it's good morning or grand rising, um, I greet you all in the name of God, and I say hello, and I say good day. Now go out and make the day yours. Take dominion, be fruitful, multiply, produce, and return back to those that you may owe, whether it be love or whether it be an account of money. Return to them with joy to be able to recycle this day and time again. My name is Val. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, take care.